Hey guys, this is Carlos CDC, and today we have a review of the MANIX 2 and REX45 and Burnt Orange G10. So per usual, we're going to start with some specs. We're going to move on and do the positives, the negatives, and a conclusion. Each square here is 1/2 inch. So the blade of this knife is 3 inches and a half. Overall length is 8 inches. The cutting edge, however, is a total of 3 inches. No sharpening choil, just this finger choil right here takes about 1/2 inch away. Now for some size comparisons. People are going to ask for this comparison eventually, so I'll just pull it right out. Oh, it's dirty, sorry. This is my PM2. It is my go-to for EDC. This one has S35VN and carbon fiber scales and an aftermarket titanium clip. And the Rex is all stock, but it is the REX45 burnt orange version. And I like the sprint to get people to realize how big knives is. This is a 2-inch cutting edge. This is a 3-inch cutting edge, like I said earlier. But as you can see, they resemble nothing to each other except they have a handle and an edge. And lastly, one of my favorite work knives is the Outlast, which I think has a 3.5-inch cutting edge. And lastly, just color comparison / size comparison. This is S2R Baton 2 in copper, and it's patinaed copper. So as you can see, it resembles the collar a lot. Let's just start with the positives. So in the positives, it's made by Spyderco and it's made here in the United States, which usually and most of the time it means that this knife is going to be great quality. This knife is going to be made well and it's going to be made in the United States. I have nothing against knives made overseas, but I do enjoy it when the country I live in makes great stuff. So that's the first positive. Secondly, and the thing that you noticed right away, is the ergonomics on this piece. Our large size gloves, and this thing just feels amazing in my hand. It feels amazing without gloves and with gloves on. It feels amazing for work. I'm a construction worker in Arizona, and yeah, this thing just put in some work over a week. That's how I like to review my things. I like to take them to work, open packages, break down boxes, cut rope, etc., etc. And then once I get a feel for them, I come back to my review table and I throw a review in. But the ergos on this thing are phenomenal. The blade shape is extremely useful. It's just one long continuous curve, and I seem to like those a lot for work. For example, the ProTech, this is my running knife. It's not my work knife, but sometimes just a simple blade is my favorite kind of blade, and the MANIX is an example of that. And yeah, I've been enjoying working with this knife a lot. The other extremely positive thing about this knife, once I picked it up, it is the continuous jimping on the back and the continuous jimping in, I guess, the front of the knife, where it runs where your index would be, where your middle finger would be, and then the last 3 fingers. So only like the middle finger doesn't have any jimping. Some people are against jimping. I enjoy it. I like it. I feel more secure holding the knife. Is it really doing anything? I don't know. I don't think so. That because of the way the handle is shaped, I don't think this will fly off my hand. I appreciate the extra step of the jimping. Moving on, the lock on this thing is pretty nice. I like the MANIX locking mechanism. It's nice. It's easy to disengage. It's bi-dextrix for my left-handed peeps out there. And yeah, so the other lock people want me to compare it to is the axis lock. I don't have one right now. I have the option lock, which is pretty much the same. So anecdotally, the omega springs on the axis lock fail more often than the spring coil spring style spring on the MANIX. It coils like this, and this is like an omega shape, you know, dark side. And just anecdotally, I've never seen a study, and it's never happened to me. Anecdotally, in the community, the spring is more reliable than the Omega. Now, fidget wise, an access lock from Benchmade is gonna be, or from Hogue or whatever, it's gonna be more fidgety than this one, I believe. It's smooth, it's nice, it drops shot, but it's the access lock is just a little bit smoother. But yeah, the lock is still a positive. They also asked me to compare it to the compression lock. I'm just gonna say it right away. I prefer a compression lock, especially on the PM2. On the something like a Capara or a Smock, you know, I would have to think about it longer, but the notch on the PM2 is just nice, and PM2s are always pretty smooth. Moving on with the positives, the overall design of the knife appeals to me. I think it's a more attractive knife than an open PM2. It's thicker. I just like it more. It looks manlier, more tough, and yeah. So aesthetically, I enjoy it. I feel like the Spidey hole fits on it better, and it is a smaller Spidey hole than like a PM2, for example. It rides well in the pocket. The G10 is good to go. I like the fact that you can get a lot of different metals on the MANIX. You can get Maximet, you can get just all kinds of metals, and there's a lot of sprints all the time and exclusives. So yeah, if you're a MANIX fan and you only want to own MANIXes, I can see why. Now in the negatives, this is something with all MANIXes that I have tried. The opening hole, the Spidey hole, is always rough. It's always sharp. My thumb is losing some skin because I fidget a lot, and so the hole being sharp, yeah, just mess up your finger a little bit. Not a big deal. Another negative is that you almost always have to buy a aftermarket clip for a knife like this. In my case, for me, I would keep it as is. I think the knife doesn't make the ergos any worse, and it doesn't make it look bad, so I would keep it. On a PM2 I would change it right away, but on this MANIX, for example, I would keep it unless I can find like a nice MXG orange coated. Then I would put that on because I think it will look cool. But you don't have to do it right away like on a PM2, for example. Another negative in the ergos, and this is very minute, but I feel like this peak right here is a little bit too tall. If this was mine, I would smooth the hole out and make this a little bit smaller. I don't know if it will look good or not. I would probably not do it to a sprint run of this caliber, but I would probably do it if I own a used beater MANIX to try it out. And some people might say in the negatives that it's big for the pocket, but I didn't find that myself. I would just put it in my pocket, and I would be able to grab my wallet in and out of my pocket without any worries. It wasn't poking at my wallet or anything like that. So pocket wise, I think it was good. It's not a pocket hog, at least not my pockets. I'm a construction worker. I usually wear Levi's. So in conclusion, I like this knife. I don't think you can go wrong by buying a MANIX 2. They're usually more affordable than PM2s, especially on their sprint runs. I would own one of these. I think it's a full enchilada. I'm not in a hurry to buy one. This came from my buddy Brad at Mild Mannered EDC YouTube channel. Check him out. He's a great guy. Very nice. His reviews are thorough. They have some comedy in them, and he's a super nice guy. I appreciate the opportunity of reviewing this knife, and that didn't make me biased at all. Like I criticized this knife. I have a different review of a MANIX lightweight up here, and it's pretty much the same thing I said of the lightweight. Again, this one has liners, but that doesn't make a big difference in weight for me. I'm a construction worker. I wear belts. I don't know what the deal is with people wanting knives to be 2 ounces. This one's like 5, and I carry this all the time. It literally makes no difference. Like if I'm on a run, yeah, I want a small knife. This is under 2 ounces actually. But if I'm not wearing running shorts, I don't care. And it didn't make a difference. The PM2 is lighter because of the carbon fiber, and I think the titanium helps it a little bit. But it makes no difference in my pocket. Like I don't notice an ounce. I probably have an ounce of like hardware, like screws on my back pocket by the time I leave the job site, just because I end up putting them there sometimes. But I enjoy this knife. I consider it the full enchilada, especially with this burnt orange that I like, and especially given the REX45 metal. But I mean, look at that. That's a great combo. I appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you're a PM2 guy or a MANIX 2 guy. Have a great day.
You crazy son of a bitch, you dead.
We could just tear up the robot.